Let's try now. Hi. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for staying. And that's a tough act to follow, but I think what Mike is going to talk about is going to be equally exciting. My name is Manuela Papadopoul, and I'm the co-founder of Sansi Consulting. It's a business strategy consulting company based here in Seattle and in San Diego. And I've been a brand ambassador for Mercedes for many years. I have big passion for what the company is doing in terms of empowering women all over the world. But most exciting is what Mike Dozenbach, the head of the Seattle R&D office of Mercedes-Benz, is doing. So, Mike, how's it going?
It's going well. If I thought I had the answer for all of the diversity problems, I'd be shopping my skills around to Facebook and Twitter and the people. But what we've done seems to be working at our office here in Seattle. And so I will share my theories at the very least. I spent 23 years in this industry, and I've seen the worst of the brogramming cultures, and it's toxic. It doesn't work in the long term. You might get something done quickly, but that level of aggression will not work long term. So what I'm trying to build here in Seattle is a more open, cooperative culture, and it's bringing people in from all backgrounds. So it's not just a gender diversity thing, it's an entire diversity thing.
You have, I think, the most impressive thing about your office. You've been around for what, a year?
Yeah, one year today.
Yeah, and I think we talked about statistics all day today. 86% of the purchases in a household are done by a woman, but only 16% have executive roles in any company, and that applies to automotive. Only 20% or 16% of female work in development departments at any company, any tech company. But I think what you have done in just a year is so incredible. What's the
Well, we have 31%
female?
of our technical staff is female,
It's incredible.
which is, in a way, because it's great for our industry, but it's horrible number. 50% of the population are female, and we only have 30%, and that's considered good. So it's not good enough for me. But we have more than just that gender diversity. We have people, in our first 50, we had people from 10 countries and 5 continents. We have LGBT community members. We have disabled people, and I think it really comes from the culture. I think it'll play out long term to see if that's true. But I think for me, I don't care who the person is. I care what they can do. And that goes into the way that we hire. So it was funny today. It was just, so I'm kind of going off script a little bit, although I don't have a script. Just today, we had our little booth out there, and I had two men come up and say, I'm very happy here at Microsoft. I love my job. I'm not looking to move. But my wife, she spent the last few years at home taking care of the kids, and she's trying to get back into the industry, and she's having no luck. Well, these are exactly the people that I want to take a look at. My wife has been staying at home for 12 years, and off and on she goes to look for a job, and she doesn't even get phone calls. And it flabbergasts me. This is somebody who wants to contribute. Why are you? So I don't know that I have an answer to that, but it just seems insane to me that our industry turns down people who can give huge contributions to what we're doing. And that diversity that we're building in the office gives us a diversity of ideas. We have a bunch of different things that we can play off of each other and come up with the best idea together.
So I think recently you've conducted a survey within your employees and asked them what brought you to Daimler, what brought you to Mercedes-Benz, and why did you choose Mercedes-Benz? Because let's face it, how many of you know that Mercedes-Benz R&D office is here in Seattle? Raise your hands. I think me and Mike, cheating, you work here. But how many of you know that Mercedes-Benz is at the forefront of technology and they're defining the mobility of the future and autonomous driving and helping us move from point A to B? And I think it's important that they're doing such a great job with technology and that attracts some people. I think they're doing a great job with the brand, but what made those people come to Mercedes?
So I don't have the quotes in front of me, but a lot of what it comes from is it's a very stable company and it's a brand that has something behind it, but it also has a startup feel. So it's kind of the best of both worlds where we are building something from scratch within an existing stable company. This is my 1-year anniversary with the company. I was the first employee here in Seattle. So everybody who has joined in that year. And we've been given the autonomy from the company in Germany to do things the way that we want to do them. So we have that startup feel. We can put together processes how we want to do it. We can use the technologies that we want to use. Everybody gets to wear multiple hats. So there's that flexibility, that interesting workplace that you get in a startup, but you never have to worry about where your next paycheck is coming from. And we're also not Amazon. We're also, I don't know about Microsoft. I never worked here, but we're not going to work you to death. This is an office where you can put in your time and get your work done and then go home and spend time with your families, which is, stereotypically something that women look for, but it was something this middle-aged white guy was looking for as well, right? We're building that culture of getting that excitement of the startup, but also the stability and the ability to have a life outside of work.
I think that's very important. I think this is a great lesson that you've just shared. Just keep your brand identity and keep the core values of the company, the big company in Germany, but make sure you bring your startup feel. And I think there's a lot of that in Seattle. What excites you about work? Like, what is it that you love most about your job, and how do you bring that to the diversity and the inclusion and equal pay?
Well, I think that one of the things that drives me is, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's overly simplistic and kind of condescending to call it helping people. Because as a manager, my number one job is to make sure that the company meets its goals. But if I can do that while giving somebody with the skills who have been overlooked a step up, again, that sounds condescending in my ear, but it's helping people. The thing that really drives me is building people's careers, I think. And that goes for anybody. Even people who are historically privileged, just letting people find their own way and building the careers within that keeps them passionate about their work. I think that's what really gets me up in the morning.
That's actually very good. I think in one of the talks that I've had with Mercedes-Benz in Frankfurt, talk about male-dominating world. I think I was one in 350 male event. They were all asking me, what's the key to success? How do we women succeed in a company like Daimler? And I said, the success for me is not acting more like a man, but acting more like a woman instead of a girl. And I think that's an important information that I would like to share with everyone out there. It's just, we're all in this together. I think this was one of the themes of the event today. And I think it's important to speak up, but also do it in a manner that represents you. Yeah. Well, I'm very excited about what Mercedes-Benz is doing here in Seattle, and you guys should check them out. They're right outside, and talk to Mike.
And thank you for listening, even though I have no stories about the president.
And no card to give you. Sorry for the non-Oprah moment. Do not look under your seats. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.